Hi there. This one is a very important one because we will be combining multiple skills and tool sets that we have learned in Python together to perform a bigger operation. If you're a new viewer, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. I've been creating videos for HackerRank and Code Signal, and I'll be starting making videos for Lead Code very soon. And I've got heaps coming on AI, large language models, and machine learning and deep learning and so forth. And if you're enjoying my videos, I would appreciate if you like them, share with your friends, and also leave me a comment if you have any questions. So let's get into this one. As usual, I've got my HackerRank on the left-hand side of my screen, and I've got a Jupyter Lab on the right-hand side. The Jupyter Lab helps me solve the problem with you and for you. So let's see what the problem is. This problem is called set mutations. So far, what we have done with sets in HackerRank is that we've done operations, but we haven't really changed the set in any shape or form. With mutations, we will be able to make some changes, some updating onto the set if we want to. We have seen the applications of union, intersection difference, and symmetric difference of operations, but these operations do not make any changes. We can use the following operations to create mutations on a set. Sometimes you want to update a set. You can use .update. Sometimes you want to use the .intersection update, which allows you to update the set by keeping only the elements found in it and an iterable or another set. And the other thing you can do is the difference update, which allows you to update the set by removing elements found in an iterable or another set. And lastly, you might want to do some symmetric difference update, which allows you to update the set by only keeping the elements found in either set, but not in both. So you've got 4 different operations that you might want to perform. And now let's see what the task is asking us to do. So here is the task. You will receive a set A, so keep that in mind. And then you will receive a number of other sets. The user will tell us how many, maybe 3, maybe 100, I don't know, but the user will tell me. Then based on A, that is the reference set, and the number of sets that the user will give me, for each one of those sets, the user will tell me what they want. For example, with the first one, they might want an update. With the second one, they might want a symmetric difference update, and so forth. So this is their story. If I go down to the input format, the first line contains the number of elements in set A. So the user will say, my set A has got 16 elements, and here are the elements inside set A. Okay, good. I've got set A figured. Then they will tell me how many other sets they will give me. For example, here the user says, I'm going to give you 4 other sets. Okay, that's easy. Then if they're going to give me 4 other sets, the next lines should count to 8, because for each set, they will give me 2 lines. For example, these first 2 lines are for set number 1. These 2 lines are for set number 2, set number 3, and set number 4. Now you may ask, okay, what are we going to do with the 4 sets? Well, the user will tell you what they want to do. For example, in this first one, they want to perform an intersection update. Okay, easy. Now then they give me information about the set. The set has got 10 values in it, and here is the set. The second set, they need an update. It is only of length 2, and here are the values, and so forth. So I think it should be very clear right now. You receive set A, and then you receive the number of upcoming sets that you will receive, and the details about each set. So now the question is, how do I write some Python code that does what exactly I'm being asked to do? Let me make it easy for you. I will extend my Jupyter Lab, and I will start coding. So I'm just looking at the input, right? For starters, I will receive the len of A, which will be coming through an input function. If you haven't seen my video on the input function, the link is up the top right. And we know that input function normally gives us a string. We need to convert it to an integer. So let's do that. That will be this first line covered. Then what I will be doing, I will actually be receiving the A set. So that will again come from an input function. But from what I can see, all of that comes in one piece, like a block of numbers. I will have to break them into pieces to be able to do things. So what I will do, I will take it from the input function and I will split it based on the spaces between them. But remember, the input function gives me a string. How do I convert this to numbers? Well, I can use the map function, right? Which maps the integer function onto the outcome of splitting of an input. But remember, A is a set. I have to convert this to a set after I have done all of that. So if I run these 2 lines, and I will replicate exactly what the example is, I will say set A is of length 16, And here is the set A itself. I just copied from HackerRank and pasted here. So if I print A, you will see that A is a set of numbers, which is great. So let me delete that. I didn't want to keep that. The next bit for me is n. So the number of sets that the user will be trying to do operations on. So let's create another integer of an input function that will give me n. And then I will start doing things based on n. I will run exactly the example. So I will be receiving 4 sets. I know that I need a for loop because something will keep happening and happening. So I will make a for loop. I'll just put an underscore because I don't want to name anything. You can give it a name, but I'll just put an underscore. And I will let it run on the range of n, because if the user has got 4 different sets, I will have to repeat this 4 times. Right now, if I print the underscore, you will see that it goes from 0, 1, 2, 3, which is 4 different things. Now, let's get rid of that print. Let's just think about it. Then once I run the loop, what am I going to do with it? Well, if you look at the example here, the first line will be the user will tell me what they want to do and what is the length of the set. So let me receive that from the user. That's what I'm going to do. I will call it operation. I will receive some input from the user, which will be, for example, intersection update space 10. There is a space, so maybe I will use that space to split it. Which part of that will be the operation? The words, the intersection update, or the 10? Well, the intersection update. Then the question is, does the intersection update sit on index 0 or index 1? So I'm not going to run it in a for loop. Let me run it outside so that you can understand what happens. If I run this outside, and this is only an example, and if I copy that from here, paste it here, and if I show you operation, you will see that it has got a first part and a second part because we broke it based on this space. So I want this first part to be the operation. Okay, that's easy. If I only say I want the first one, which is index 0, run that again and do this again, you will see that now I have captured that operation. So I think that's pretty clear now for me that I will only use index 0 for the operation. Do I really need that length? Look, I don't think I need the length. All I need is the actual set. So within the loop, after I understand what the user wants to do, I will call this other set. And other set will be coming through an input function. I will split it based on space, and I will pretty much do what exactly I did here. So maybe let's just be lazy, copy that from the top and put it here. So this will be receiving this one. Okay, now at each iteration, I will receive this first line and this second line, which is the set itself. Now I need to perform the operation. What is the operation? Well, in that first instance is the intersection update. Another time it's an update. Another time it's a symmetric difference update. So I need to make sure I put different if conditions so that if the user says this, do this. If the user says that, do that. If the user wants something different, do that. So let's build that in. I think I will have 4 different conditions. The reason being, I have 4 different operations for mutations in sets. I can say if operation, what is the first one? Let's use intersection update maybe. If the user says update, that's what they want, then all you need to do is a.update other set. Now that's condition number 1. Elif operation equals, what was the next one? Intersection update. So if the user says I want an intersection update, then a intersection update of other set. I think you get the gist right now, right? Elif operation equals, was the next one, difference update, then a dot difference update of the other set, right? And lastly, elif operation equals symmetric difference. I'm just looking at there. Difference update. Yep, that's what it is. Then 8 asymmetric difference update the other set. So these are the 4 conditions that I needed for those 4 different operations. Now we understand what the input is. Let's see what the output is. The output is required to be the sum of elements in set A. So you take set A, you do things with the first set, second set, third, and fourth set. At the end, after you have done all of those operations, provide the sum of elements in A. It's very easy. You just need one line. All you need to do is say give me the sum of A, and that's what I want. This has to be a code. That was my bad. What is n? N is 4, right? Now let's run this one. Okay, we're starting with intersection update. Go down here, click enter, copy that, paste that here, copy that, paste that here, copy that, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, and copy, paste. You can see that the answer is 38. That's exactly what the sample output was expecting. So right now, what I will do, I'll transfer the code onto HackerRank, submit it, and see what happens. Let's go up. Let's take this first part and click enter. Let's take this and paste it here and copy all of that code and paste that here. Let me extend this window a bit, run that code, and fingers crossed that will be successful. Yep, sample test case was successful. Let's submit the code, more test cases, and they are all successful. Ta-da! So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and leave me a comment if you enjoyed it. Thank you.